Hello. Hope everybody's doing well today. First of all, hello, any expert. How's it going? And general as well. And I don't know why it didn't appear at the bottom, but thank you for 22 months sub, bud. I appreciate that, general. It's hard. It's hard to think that like some of you have been around that long, and some of you have been supporting that long. It's just mind blowing sometimes. So thank you. Anyways, I haven't. Fuck, that was loud. I haven't done this game since, or I ended Justice for All last December. It's very weird to think about. I mean, but you're just like I said, you're always more than welcome to be here if you like. Yeah. I remember AA being amazing. Well, we'll see. We'll see how Justice for All goes. I've heard decent things about it. I heard it's really weird for the end of the Phoenix Wright trilogy. I did hear they're going to be making or either making or have made a Apollo Justice, which has from what I can tell, is probably going to be my favorite, called Dual Destinies, which to me looks really good, and that's something I'd like to do. I'm just hoping they keep Gumshoe. I've only heard good things on Dual Destinies. Nice. Is there anything extra? No, okay. Why do they keep bringing her back? Wait, Apollo Justice stuff is coming out late January. Okay. Huh. How did I get into this mess? Oh shit, he did. Why? Why did I do that? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about her, that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Oh fuck. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Five years earlier, Moya faced second trial. Holy shit, he killed a man. April 11th, 9:40. Defendant isn't usually number. Wait, have they been consecutively going up? Are we gonna have to go to defendant lobby number 4 when we have to? Whatever. Ooh, it's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Doesn't kill the man in this day and age. Not something you should probably be saying publicly, Gumbo. Also, probably everyone. Ahem. Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning. Way did the court change? I don't know, General. I could have sworn it was number 2. Like before. At least in JFA. Well, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Mia. Please calm yourself down. You're gonna get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. This is a flashback? Yeah, I guess. What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me. I'm relaxed. I'll let go of my lapels. Excuse me. Things are about to change, probably. Huh. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service. What is this? Is this, I was gonna say, is this game just gonna be entirely centered around Mia? Why call it Phoenix Wright? Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. What with your earnest request last night? Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too. Only the first case? Alright. All cases are based around the phase. When does it stop? To be honest, in JFA, it still bothered me that there was Deus Ex Mia. Whatever. I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean. What? And you've already learned all the relevant facts? All about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. See the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Good morning, everyone. I'm not going to be imitating cold noises. Like, Mia's a big part about this game's marketing, in my opinion. Why would they ever let it? They need the appeal, you know? Anyhow, no more whatever. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I got. Yep, it'll be fine, no problem. Cold noises. Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something? Mr. Rye? Ace Attorney, how's it going, newbie? Actually, it's right. Like the Frying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what the mask is for. My doc says this way, I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Oh, I see, General. I see. Fuck rhymes, Ace Attorney. One of the front characters of all the... Is it just this trilogy, or does it happen in the Apollo Justice trilogy as well? AJ doesn't feature Mia? Okay, cool. Alright. That's good to know, because trust me, by the end of this game, I'm probably going to be sick of Deus Ex Mia. Right, Mr. Wright, you have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You just stay strong for your client, Mia. I know, Allie. The story of the third game hit me hard. Oh no. No spoilers, no spoilers. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly, I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. Ow. I just fucking blitzed my neck. Well, it's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. Town of Salm? And for my client and for myself. Like the AA games by how emotional I got from the story and how hard it hit me, this is number 2. Oh, it's number 1. Oh, now we're in courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. Dual Destinies? Oh boy. I am looking forward to playing that one if I can eventually afford the Apollo Justice trilogy when it comes out. Dual Destiny story is fuck. That's good to know. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. It's him. Defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? To be honest, I know this is a small detail, but I've always liked like a scarf, you know? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading defense. This case is very funny in my opinion. Alright. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing right there next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. I am uncomfortable without how his hair is wiggling. It just kind of gives me a noise, you know? Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll all be over soon. What's it all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. Is it? No, never mind. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. Oh no. He's a 4th-year student studying pharmacology. I really hope I said that right. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Okay, but does he? Oh. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body, and the defendant who had obviously bungled his getaway. They then called the police. Yeah, that certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo to the record as evidence. Oh, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Do you have anything else? April 9th or September 4th. I really hate that the Americans, like in like the rest of the world, kind of back and forth things. I highly recommend not having too long breaks between the cases. You'll see why. Okay. Hehehehe. Your reputation for sagacity? I don't know if I said that word right. Is well earned, Your Honor. It chooses that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a genteel man, if you will. I'm gonna slap that hair right off of him. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Electric shock. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read the whole... Whatever. My hemorrhoid... why does this guy talk about his fucking hemorrhoids? My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? All up this is just all basic tutorial shit. I'm I'm just gonna skip anything that's like, oh yeah, do you know how to do this? I'm like, yeah, I know how to do it. Take a good hard look at the data here. Think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir, I'll do just that. Gotta stay calm. I can't let the prosecutor get the better of me. Court record. Okay, let's take a look. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. I'll get ready for mentioning of hemorrhoids because it's almost all Grossberg does all case. Okay. Electrocution? How could such a thing happen? The murderer used some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. Before that, there was one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently, there was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Whoopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I don't like that. Data the victim. Okay. He did it. He's a murderer. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Yeah, because if he takes on anybody smarter than that, he's gonna get his dick crushed in. Now let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. I'm not repeating that, Space Noodles, but how's it going? As I said, our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face. Let's turn to old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg. Try to set a better example for the young lady. Yeah, evidence is the only thing in court record. People's profiles are as well. Okay, yeah. Let's see what have you got. It's going good. Why the crying emoji then? The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Are you? I'm alive. I had a panzerotti today, which was really good. I usually have it with creamy garlic sauce, chicken, mushrooms, and extra cheese. It was great. Although I miss when they were $10 each, not 20. Talia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. As someone is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Was she Mrs. Swallow? Clearly she has some part to play in this story. He's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. Court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now, I guess I'm a suspect. No, he means what you do before you were arrested. Oh, I was a university student. Mr. Wright, I understand that you are suspected in the death of your fellow student, Doug Swell. But I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... The defendant, please refrain from blasting the coal to the rest of us. Seems like the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright. Please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Ooh, I do kind of like this music. I hope the pursuit theme is half decent. I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Alright, like I said, I'm not a killer. Ooh, it looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Eh? It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be? This one still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Blah blah, we've already done all this in the past 2 games. What does he mean by that? Is he saying the testimony just now that there was a lie, a contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Sorry, I skipped all that. I'm of the belief if this game is in a trilogy, they should have removed the tutorials. At least for the second 2 games. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened, anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Anyway, Mr. Wright. What were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. You say you found the body? Who called the police? Hey? Fortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right, well, no. That is, I mean... So which is it? Do you know him or not? Now see here, you can't avoid answering the question by sneezing all day. Well... I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't you tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who was this Dolly person? Ah yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet. That's all I knew about him. I never even talked to a stuck-up British wannabe. Mr. Wright, you stated the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... That doesn't sound right. You hardly knew him. Then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How was it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. There's none there, though. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Fay? Yes, Your Honor? What is it now? Who is this person anyway, this Union Jack fellow? It's Gumbo's alter ego, Union Jack. The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. The British. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bid just now? Mia, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg. Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage your own from this point? I can handle it myself. Shut up, old man. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. We can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia, one more time from the very beginning of this testimony. Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Fay, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of a t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that she accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. Please forgive me. Yeah, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his back doesn't stand for Phoenix anyways. Can't believe I trust him. Mr. Wright was all wrong. So I gotta readjust here. My feet are fucking cold. This should be better. That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear this man does not simply stumble upon the scene of a crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a real bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? What a name. Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How'd you know I'm a big... Oh, give me a second. I gotta disable right click. Keep fucking doing this. Alright, I deactivated it. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. You lost it? Does this even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take another look at the... Take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this? In the victim's hand, it's Cold Killer X. Yes, but even I got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and hid it in his hand. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo and bottle as evidence. Very well, the court will accept them into the record. I want to check something quickly. What is that? 305? Am I seeing that right? 305? On his watch? At 3 p.m. Okay, so it was relatively close. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor hemorrhoids. The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then around 3, we split up. Later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the accidents. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. But forgive me if I say that I find that your current testimony any more credible. Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. I hope there's a case in one of these games where you get it so fucking wrong the culprit confesses to correct it. Has there been that yet? Let me think. Not that I can think of. Also, I was going TKJ. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. Good, nice. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. Oh, we'll see how it goes, Kobo. I'm interested to see if something like that happens. I wanted to kind of see happen during like a tutorial though. Like new players are kind of like, oh fuck, I'm an idiot, you know. That day he called me up and he wanted to talk to me about Dolly. This Dolly person is my it's kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart. Oof, what was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dolly Hawthorne was also the victim of the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. Yeah, so it's one of those nasty love triangles I see. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. It was Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45. Yeah, we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, you said he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. I don't know, my brain quit out for a second there. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist? I see. I gotta admit, I was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. Finally, your brain is gone and returned. I don't know if it's ever returned. It's filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. It sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Okay, sure. I don't know all that much though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the copy of Persona 5 Royal in its place. I've never played any of the Persona games, so I don't think that's what's there. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there's high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. I think we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna press again just to see what the other thing said. Final, which is your favorite visual novel? I haven't really played that many, so I couldn't tell you. Probably these? I'd say the first one of these. Maybe. Mainly because I can't really think of any other VNs. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I? Maybe I should ask him for more details. Timing of the meeting. So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Isn't this more interactive visual novel? Yeah. Because there are some in this... I hate, especially in VNs, the illusion of choice. Where basically all options lead to the same outcome. Like, if I'm going to play a visual novel, I want there to be, like, at least some decision behind it, you know? That's why I kind of like this game, because even though it's like, there's one path, you can still lose because there's a puzzle behind it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, looks like he's right about the time anyway. Let's go on with your testimony. We talked for a bit, and then around 3 o'clock we split up. So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Then later when I went back, I found him lying there. So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Is this the alternate universe? What do you mean? I don't want to say mission. This act specifically is the flashback. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? Suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals. So I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. Welcome back, newbie. But I lost my bottle of it around... On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Oh, what does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Ouch, why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm sorry. I just felt like hurting something all of a sudden, or someone all of a sudden. I think that's enough for now. The defendant and the victim met approximately at the time of his death. And the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? Hehehehe. I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there was one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is, you are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? You can somehow establish how it was done. We can still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Was he bludgeoned? Wake me up in an hour? How should I wake you up, Gumbo? Yell? I'm not yelling. Not this late, at least. Gumbo, turn your phone on to vibrate, and then I'll message you on Discord. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe now that we will piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. Just shove it in your ass. If that's what wakes you up, bud, I'm not judging you. All I said was turn it on to vibrate. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I've totally forgot about that. I'm considering getting the second trilogy to witness Hell in HD. I mean, up to you. It might be Capcom, but Capcom devs are actually pretty decent people, at least from what I can tell. They just have a really bad knack for reuse. Excuse me. Now then, Miss Faye, let's see what you got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. What? There's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. I know the first of the trilogy is still in 2D. Do you think they're going to remaster that into 3D? Maybe. Sorry, wow. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in the... Didn't even let me read. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we heard. Machines the pharmacology department students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there was a special high voltage cable strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. But how was it broken? It certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may have been indeed by a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish Mr. Wright as was the murderer. You do? You do? Well, what is it? My headset's dying. Give me a second, guys. I'll just dig through my fucking pile of cables, figure out which fucker is connected to the wall. Found it. Give me a second here. Alright. The cable ball? Yeah, basically. Well, it doesn't... fuck, it came out. Well, it's not like it's multiple cables. It's one cable. It's one cable, but the cable's like 10 feet long. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes. It's quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm prints of the defendant's very own hands. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. Order, order, order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork on us. We're done. Mr. Grossberg. My hemorrhoids never lie. This show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty from the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. Further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor. At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Fay. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in and I'll represent you to the very end. You've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need to further... I did it. I admit, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Steam. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear, I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Fay? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I can't believe it. He really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Ew. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. Grossberg's name is true? Exactly. Do we deal with him any more after this first trial? Because I don't want to have to listen to hemorrhoids for 4 or 5 more acts. No? Good. Fuck. The explanation is really quite simple. When you push him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched an electrical cable. Only briefly once? Okay. And he died from the shock. And that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incidents, a light rain had been falling. But from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true, even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. He is innocent. There must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. That guy was... Oh. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Unless Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make me harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did it, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen? Right, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? Give me a second. Oh, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll you like a cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Continue on with the testimony, witness. Out of the way with a dog and a ball? Okie doke. At the moment I heard some kind of loud noise. What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Sure, let's ask for more details. Mr. Right, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha, could it have been... Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That's probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? Did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye. What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well... Sure. This is it, Mia, the new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important, it's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Ha, how perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella? And you are certain of this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing the sweater here. I stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. Oomph. My stomach is not to be used as a personal soccer ball, Mia. I'm so sorry. Continue on with your testimony, witness. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. After you shot the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Phoenix is cringing me out so fucking much. Yeah. How's it going, Saint Dreamer? How you doing today? Yes, I did. I admit it, I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. In that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Nope, nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. So we can find something that shows the innocence that testimony. Alright. I think it's... this one? Because the umbrella's not underneath of him. Also, if he was pushed from the front, how was he on his front? Or, yeah. Why did you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. Well, what do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. If you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. The defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order, order, order. The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo. Where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want to present it as evidence immediately. I like that the tutorial of the case is harder than most others. Yeah, I agree. It's harder to think, but it's there. It's actually like a little bit of a refresher for veterans of the franchise. Yeah. You're just fucking owning Pain. Love it. Everybody owning Pain is great. Nobody likes Pain. I want to present it as evidence immediately. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. I like Miles and Francisco, though. Oh, I agree. No! No! I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. The spirit of justice pain is surprisingly bearable. There's pains in the Apollo trilogy as well. There's pains in all games. Even the... I want to say the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I think it's called. Pain is everywhere. Oh no. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly. And this witness's testimonies will be incontrovertible. Is that a word? It is a traditional tutorial case punching bag. Nice. I enjoy kicking his ass. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia? Dahlia Hawthorne, you don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. In fact, in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Kazuma, a friend of Phoenix's ancestor, says that Payne's family will never beat Phoenix's family 100 years ago. Wow. So it's like a curse. You two will be intertwined, and one will always lose. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Alright, Chad, I'll see you in 20 minutes. No, I'm joking, I won't do that. Afterwards, we'll listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Give me a second, guys. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. I... It's alright, at least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy? You can't be serious. After hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, I'm starting to be a lawyer on the side anyways. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I think it's fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present. I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my little darling Dolly. Words are hard. It certainly is a little bottle, alright. Makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she's always saying the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright. The day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago. Wouldn't happen to be on August 27th, would it? Eh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder. What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there's some connection between these two cases. Am I correct? I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. I'll keep going for now. You know, usually I try to mimic, like, the in-between sounds, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. Prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. What's with the stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I've been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you rated a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe he actually said that. Oh, now then, witness. Could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous. Judge L, yeah. Judge, you fucking moron. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. I love how they look straight to me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You were also nice. I almost feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. We may move on now. What is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. Oh, I'm gonna kick someone's ass. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys. That's a good reference. You know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard? Sir? Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever's on your mind. I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Beanie wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it. Yes, yes. I can see why you'd say that. She's gonna be a tough witness, alright. Only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. And then please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. I've been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Benny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeney noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never. It's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Hehe. You haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes. We've met before. Once. In any case, Mia Fey, or Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madame Fey. Damn. I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Feeney, I mean Mr. Wright, is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senryu poetry. I apologize if I mispronounced that word. Oh ho, how wonderful. It's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes? Nothing left to do. When a man reaches his age, sleep is his best friend. That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that back area. Ah yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors. How else would you enter? Teleportation? Beanie and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. And suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just oops. So who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry, Dog Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow, Mr. Right talking about anyway? How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't made to be so rude and unrefined. That's... Oh, fuck off, really? That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Why am I being demonized here? Please go on. What did you see next? And suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeney never did the thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? I'm going to leave it alone for now until you can... Very well, young lady, please go on with your testimony. What did Mr. Wright say when he saw you? I'm sorry, I was so flustered that I really don't remember. Please forgive me. You don't remember? Well, that's common enough. Sometimes I can't recall a sentence I had passed only minutes prior. Please, someone, anyone, stop it before he gets hurt. By me. Same, Mia. Same. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do. Sorry. That's what I planned on to do. But in the end, I went out not going. Judge through a pan. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on. The students knew what was going on. But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something. It's not like it's going to get any more info about the students. So the students called the police. Yes, I was so panicked. Yeah, well, anyone would have been, my dear. That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, it's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. Means we're gonna have to dig deep to find the contradiction of this one. Alright, so what People lies are never becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never. Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger the witness. I believe the defense is engaging in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... I think Mia is, like, 2 sentences away from absolutely just dropping pain. Like, just grabbing him by the neck, and Batista bombing him off the edge of the courthouse. Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Excuse me. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there was only 2 of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Dog Swallow? Yes, that's right. It didn't look like they were fighting. I didn't hear anything unusual either. So then what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice friendly afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break. That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge. Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Didn't hear anything unusual. What about, umbrella? You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I found that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you're really that close to the 2 of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. According to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way like a noise like that could just fail to make an impression. Ah! May I have a moment to answer? By all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let out, but it seems as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end just yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of the thunder. Put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there aren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. There was lightning. Your Honor, there was a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct? Yes, what about it? Well, lightning is actually a very large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right? Now is not the time for science lesson, Miss Fay. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit with a bolt of lightning? I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyways? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. The very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt. Is this what we're really going with? It appears the defense may be onto something. No thoughts head empty. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't. Oh. I'm heard that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fey. Everybody has a low opinion of you, Pain. Huh? I'm not a fool, you know. Prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found out that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location. What? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cables is definitely linked to this case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence? Yeah, this affidavit. And who is this affidavit from? The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their lab that day. Allow me to read out the testimony of the pharmacology students. All the equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 o'clock that day. Was it a blackout? All the lab's equipment run on high voltage, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely, they lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3. Oops, sorry. Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cables. But how did they break in the first place? According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently the cables also had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. However, there was one thing that troubles me. The cable could have been broken by any small bump. It wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Fey, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable? Your Honor. I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. Pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? It would have to be the umbrella, right? This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor, I believe that the only thing that has snapped is the mind of the defense. What? Ah, that was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor. Ouch, that was harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance. What? Well, let's hear it. Who or what was it? Maybe it was him? This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Or not. Was it Dahlia? Nope. Was it right? Okay. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony. He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 o'clock p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that? A lot of equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. His prosecution also came to that same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swall to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See that umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right, the victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. The victim was shoved into the far pole, and he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. Ah! In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order. Order in the court. The lamentations of my enemy, how I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have done it. Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said something that was a little different than I remember them. What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge? Of course it's alright. Just go ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. First time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Dougie tried his best to run away from him. Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted had all occurred in less than a minute. That couldn't have happened because the watch is late. Like at least 5 minutes late, I think. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. That's when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm sorry, Feeney, but I had to tell them the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge? Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment you pushed Dougie. I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeney. That's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge? Yes? Would you please forgive little old me? Okay, if I righteously hate it that when someone says forgive little old me. Like, you don't, can you say, if you want to forgive us, you'd say, can you forgive me? You wouldn't say, would you forgive little old me? Like, it's, Of course you won't. What you did was called perjury. Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, alright? Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge. Not at all. Ho ho ho. The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. I got an achievement for pressing that, by the way. I always say, I'm not repeating that line, but I mean, you do you, if that's your prerogative. The first time was in the electrical pole, that's when the cable broke. You're saying you actually saw a victim get pushed into the electrical pole? No, he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a little bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? Furry energy flows from me. Yeah, I know. You're like the furry of the bonfire. I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad. Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. Dougie tried his best to run away from them. So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold? Miss Faye, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy, so I was scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Stand there and cheer them on. That's a fucked reasoning. Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Well, I wish the best for them both, and that they would give each other the fight. Each give the fight their all. And that's very sweet of you to be so supportive. What happened after that? That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket? No, there weren't. Madam Faye, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? Cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. Did you actually witness the moment the victim was the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's understandable. Yes, indeed, it would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold. My thinking is the time frame, but I could be, you know what? I'm nervous about this one. Because I believe it's like a 5-minute difference. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold. That's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It's not the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. An entire 10-minute difference, yes. Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. What is this all about? This is nonsense. The real murderer? You can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? That's oddly fitting, TKJ. The child getting chain slammed. Although these people are the Dahlia, Phoenix, and Doug were all in university. Miss Faye, Is defense ready to indict someone as the real killer? It's finally time. It's the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fey. Now then, Miss Fey, let's have it. Who is the real killer? I need to make some... I mean, we already have... Is it all caps, I think? Nope. Is it... There we go. I think that's the one. You should update that then. Who was the real killer? The real killer was Pain. No, it's her. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. I'll send you some tomorrow. All right. What? How did you? The fence is grasping at straws. Final, I will make something with your model. That's okay. Like a scenery of your model. Oh, screeny of my model. I mean, perfect. If I'm always open. If you guys want to do fan art, if you guys want to do animations, like picture edits, do fucking go ham. Like I'm all down to see what kind of creative things you guys come up with. Unless it's like bigoted. Like I don't want to see like my head replacing like, I don't know, Hitler or something. Like I don't want to see that shit. But put me in like doing like a handstand or something like that. That's funny. I was gonna put you in a maid dress and cat ears. Much to my chagrin, go right ahead. Oh, hold on, it's an hour. Give me a second. Where is he? Gumbo. I mean, there's already been one stream where I've worn a maid dress, but you guys don't know which one it is. I tried to wake up Gumbo, but he's not responding. It's picking up something deep in my mind. I don't know what. Okay. No, I already private messaged him quite a few times, but I mean, yoy. Actually, get ready to cover your ears, guys. I'm about to go fucking ham. For those who are active, get ready to mute yourself. Where's... Let's see... Dual Destiny... Actually, let me mute this game first. Maxed out volume. Maxed out volume. Loud music. Because I'm about to start blasting pursuit music in the hopes to wake up Gumbo. And this will proceed for probably like... I'll turn on my headset. Yep. Headset warning. Headset warning. mute or deafen yourself for the next minute. Okay, I'm going now. Gumbo, it is time to wake the fuck up. Gumbo, wake up. Gumbo, wake the fuck up. It is time to wake up, asshole. You told me to wake you up in an hour, and I did though. Can I make this any louder? Okay, hopefully that's good enough. If he's not woken up by now, then he's a lost cause. Sorry, I had to type it out. I will say Dual Destiny's pursuit theme is like the best. Alright. 10 minutes passed between the time of the cable broke and the time of electrocution. What exactly were you doing in that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order, order, Miss Faye. What? I mean, why? That is to say, I had to. Did you actually hear me in the background trying to like get Gumbo to wake the fuck up? Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, I was struggling so hard not to laugh loudly. Trust me, if I would have added like a song and dance like, Gumbo, wake the fuck up! Gumbo, wake the fuck up! Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on the day. However, after Miss Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Yeah. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything. Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge you are. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. Not you. You, what is it? I'll put it in clips and highlights. I can't wait to see that later. I can't wait to see that. Please, strike everything from the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailey, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone. That boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. Found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. What? Dahlia poisoned Mia's boyfriend? Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor, that is I... May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear, I have the situation well in hand. That is I, go right ahead. Madame Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, plus you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you that you should let me handle this. Weep! Sorry, please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear. It's part of the reason why you should not take long breaks between the cases to not forget important details. I'm not that bad at forgetting. That's why I only usually take 2 campaign games at once. But yeah, I understand. I'll try not to take too many breaks. But yeah. A Billy girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement to the cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? About the events the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What could that possibly have to do with this case? The witness claims that she had no reason to frame the defendant, am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason. Very well then, the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a little bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. Yeah. Mr. Wright, do that again. Wait, Mr. Wright. Oh, did Phoenix end up saying something part of that? And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. So until that time you had been dating Doug Swallow? Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself. No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Ho ho ho. We should look for a different line of work. Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement meeting room. Courthouse reading room? That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case. This fan warning you. This has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case. To remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I better tread carefully. Wait and see. Those both front, whatever. When our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. So what was it about Mr. Wright that made your heart malfunction like that? In my personal opinion, he looks like a typical snotty-nosed college brat. Perhaps to one your age, but to me, Feeney is handsome. Perhaps to you, Miss Hawthorne, but to the rest of the planet, he's a dime a dozen. Love is a mysterious thing, and I object to this line of questioning. If you were to look at my wife, for example, you might all be shocked. He's telling the truth. I was truly, truly shocked. Or it was... The fact that Payne has a wife is astonishing to me. Beautiful mushroom growing tall in the darkness. It comes from cow dung. That's the poem that best describes how I feel about my Feeney. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. Were there any bad feelings between you and Mr. Swallow? No, not at all. We parted on very good terms. But that can't be. Our investigation also shows that it was a clean breakup. Huh? Are you sure? Yes, it seems that they both wanted it that way. The victim wanted to break up with her. So you're saying that Mr. Swallow also wanted to break up with you? Well, you see... What a cool thing to ask a lovely young lady like this. By the way, I've never once considered leaving my wife. No one cares, Mr. Payne. She didn't deny it. That must mean... Dexwell must have been through her little act. Or seen through her little act. Must have gotten a glimpse out of her true nature. Listen to me, Mia. That woman has a judge in the palm of her hand, you see. The only way to discredit her is to find a contradiction in her testimony. I was shocked to hear as a wife. Same. Actually, I don't know if he... no, because the judge saw her. Never mind. I was going to say I don't know if he does, because... He kept flaunting her. You know if somebody flaunts something way too hard, it's... like, discredits everything. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well, young lady. I've got a simple question for you. What are you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? If it pleases your Honor, the answer is simply this. I'd come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. You were writing a paper? On what? On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld. Oh, that sounds like a fascinating research idea. Am I getting old? I've even forgotten what I've forgotten. You know the midlife crisis stuff. And why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that something you wanted to know? Speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Fay? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order, order, order. This is unbelievable. It's true then. The loveliest rose can hide the cruelest thorn. Miss Fay, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Express some interest, huh? Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. I just gotta stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my butt. This guy needs to retire. Fuck's sake. I can already tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids. Oh, man. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. And only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as you heard from the witnesses... I thought it would have given me more information. I was going to say, is it like a Cold Killer X mixture or something? Because she was dating a pharmacist student. Now, as you heard from the witness's testimony, she has nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Hey, what the? Why does defense suddenly feel stronger? Aha, Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. The proud posture and self-confidence, absolutely smashing. Alright. What are we talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential. According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case. The lawyer that was killed. Said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you tell us what all about that incident was? It has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case. Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign. Don't worry, Dolly, I'll protect you. Fuck's sake, Phoenix, shut up. You're the man. Now that is true love, young lady. Oh, Feeny, please. It is too merely making me ill, albeit for decidedly different reasons. I see for a moment, and that's when it happened. How long were you gone? I've already answered all these questions for the police. But if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes? And what were you doing that stretch of time? Using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Fay? Toilet? My perfect little doll does... What the fuck, Phoenix? You are the defendant, Miss Fay. Better luck next time. Oh, Feeny, please. Police have already looked into the whole matter. And a questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time. Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons? 2 teaspoons. Let me see. My bottle of eye drop says it's a half a fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. It's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. So I must have quietly slipped it in there. Only that I heard it was a very special kind of poison. A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that's most impossible to detect. Oh, and where would something like that come from? I'm sorry, all I know is that I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it. Chemical processes? Well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive. The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that? So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't know where to get a poison like that. That's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show you how you could have gotten the poison? That's a good enough reason, Madame Faye. She's right. And I think we've had enough of Miss Faye's questions. So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison. All we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? How did a lit student get a poison of all things? It was the boyfriend, wasn't it? Yeah, the boyfriend's just shown. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison? I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had an easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? Do you mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right, up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. For pharmacology, his laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could have never obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, seemed you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was just a matter of slipping into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The person who could have done that one was the one sitting at this very table. You. No! Order, order, order. Could it be? That's nothing but a baseless accusation. May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container. Well, yes, that's true. I searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. They didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Final, do you like hot dogs? I like them. Mostly. Depends on either how they're done and what they're topped with. Excuse me, Dan, but this is a court of law. You're saying I threw the poison container away? I think you need to show some kind of proof. Oof, she got me good with that. Why do you ask, TKJ? Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse. The container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. You're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder. And then where's the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? Plans have changed. I'm making a low poly you eat a low poly hot dog. You have a low poly me? You were forced to get rid of the container. In a hurry, weren't you? That's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who was this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. Shrink the image down, copy it and paste, and... Oh, I see, I see. So the defendant was a witness's accomplice? Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. What? But that's... That's a charming little necklace. This is a little bottle? It's really quite cute. What about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye? The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th. The same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What are you saying? There's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! Ah! Order in the court. On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Madly in love? I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dolly Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dolly Hawthorne is dating you is... because of that necklace. Dolly Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you've loved to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room. You said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. For Dolly Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. To make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. Eek. Mia, are you alright? Ah, the defendant. He's getting away. Bailiff, hurry. After him. Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? Looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no. What is it? The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry. I'm afraid your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me, I'm sorry. It's okay, just give back the necklace. I ate it. You what? You ate it. That thing would shred his fucking throat. It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah. What the? What? What is he doing now? Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? The bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? Right, can Doug swallow a lot? Ask. Oh, fuck's sake, newbie. Also, that's pretty good. I think it's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem. No, there must be some mistake. The bottle must not have any poison left in it. Either that or poison must have lost its potency. There. It's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fay, I cannot accept your explanation of the events. But why? It's maybe impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in a court of law, evidence is everything. Even after I prove so much, is she gonna get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I'd like to proceed with the trial. Mr. Wright. I'm sorry, Miss Fay. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? He told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, the defendant is Miss Fay. You tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. Dolly saw poison 8 months ago, too, huh? Put together with Mr. Wright's testimony. And there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill somebody. Miss Fay. If you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she's been desperately wanting to get back, therefore. Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Mr. Payne, finally. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. And that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The poison that Miss Hawthorne was planning to the person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was in fact you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that I could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why would she go as forward to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could only think of one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true. Beanie, what a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne. It appears we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? Seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. I'm just gonna describe how much I hate Dahlia. To be honest, it would kill me inside if I was ever betrayed like that. Hey old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what happened to you? Huh. Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? This case is not even why I hate her. Okay, so she comes back in future cases then. Spoilers, newbies, spoilers. Absolutely no proof. You treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. All good, newbie, all good. With this being a flashback, I kind of figured some of the characters would make a comeback. Sleepy newbie, sleepy. Don't force yourself to stay awake. Then I'm gonna be ending soon, Sue. As soon as this trial is done, so you won't have much more to watch in the morning or whatever. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now, if you don't mind. But we're not finished. Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. Can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you can pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. I tended to fall asleep to the stream, but I love AA too much. I mean, that's why I tried to start at around 5:30 for you, but... No. You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray. TKJ, that's nice. I like that. Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible, you can't possibly... Stupid woman. It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one. If you are unable to establish your guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I could just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Miss Faye, please present your evidence. Show this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. Was it the medicine? Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. Does a rookie defense attorney excuse me, have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony? I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly. Just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I'd like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Oh, what are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That was when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she can carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yeah, since she heard and saw everything that had happened at the scene of the crime. Including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug's ball to live. She used a severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way she did back then. She had someone else hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. Wait, was that the pursuit music? That didn't feel punchy enough. Maybe later. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne. This cold medicine. I wonder if you mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. Mia Fey. Mia Fey. Oh, poor butterflies. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's fucking scary. Heh, 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 heh. That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. For the time being. Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge. I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? Yes. I'm gonna go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. In the anime, this scene is fucking horrifying. You know what? Maybe after we're done this playthrough, we can do like a watch party together in the Discord or something. Oof. It's finally all over. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care, I'm Winston Payne. And I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There. It's alright, rookie. For example, I would trust this witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. So if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here. Right? You see, yes. And here comes the back pedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? No! Yeah, my hair, it's flying off! My beautiful hair, no! Nice. Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fey. Yes, Your Honor? Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor? Whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Yeah, Mr. Payne. This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter. He has a daughter? He fucked? Someone wanted to fuck him? It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear Ollie. Very well then. I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Woo! Not guilty's in chat. Oh wait, what the fuck is the? What the fuck's the emote? Must have been under the influence of a lot of alcohol. What the fuck? What's? Oh, okay, it is not guilty. I don't know why it didn't appear in chat. Okay, so for the 7TV mode, it's Phoenix. Oh, is it? What if I try? Okay, so if I do Phoenix, please, it appears in the on-screen chat, which is weird. The court is adjourned. Yeah, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. Oh, that's vile. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. It's rather rude to bring it up, you fucknut. Anyways, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Oh, Mr. Wright. Congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking... Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand. I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I know could have never said those kind of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright. For your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. Eek. What kind of company does this guy keep? Larry Butts, though. Right now, I'm starting to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye. A lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? That's right. Or Mr. Wright. I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned, and managed to save my friend. Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought I would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your clients. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that has made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Yay! The stolen turnabout. All right, cool. I think I'm gonna call it quits for the day. Now that I got the not guilty verdict, let's figure out a raid. The next case was kind of agonizing, emotionally or mentally. Or both. Or physically. It was annoying. Oh boy. All right, let's see how that goes then. Well, for the time being, let's raid my friend Prismarine. The raid message will be. All right, see you later. All right, take care, newbie, and I thank you for your help on this. Here's the raid message. Not guilty raid. Even though I got that remote, use whatever. Yeah, it was interesting to pick this up again. I'm not a big fan of having to talk lots in games because I feel like I don't give you guys like enough action stuff. But I reasonably can't do voice acting and shit without like absolutely either destroying my voice or sounding like shit, or both. Usually both. I try my best, but sound like shit. Yeah. Hope everyone takes care. Drink lots, eat lots, sleep lots, and yeah. I will see you folks tomorrow. You need me for VA? I wish it was like a mod that adds like voice acting to this game. I think it'll be a fun mod. Anyhow, I won't keep you guys too much. Take care and good night.